Hi everybody, my name is Nadia and I am thrilled to have you at the 3S Yoga YouTube channel. We're going to do some Vinyasa today, and we're just going to start out really quickly, kind of just open the body a little bit and then jump into the A series and really warm up the body. Bring the right leg forward and the left leg and back, so it's like you're in an easy seat, but the knees are a little bit wider and the legs are kind of more stacked. If that doesn't work for you, easy seat it is. Bring your hands to your knees, keep a straight spine, and just start to roll around in circles. You'll notice that if you curl your spine down, you aren't going to feel much of a stretch in your hips. So go nice and slow, and it's more about the front than the back half of the circle. This is Cosmo. He likes yoga. Now switch directions. Really elongating as you move forward to get the stretch in the hip. And if you don't feel anything, that's okay. Just make this a little warm up. Coming up and switch which legs in the front, hands to the knees, whichever direction you want to move in first. Just a body check-in. Does it feel different on this side? Does it feel the same? Does it matter? And switch that direction. Keep your hands at your knees, and we're going to take a couple of seated cat-cows. So arch your back as your head lifts back and up, and then curl the spine, head drops down. Inhaling, lifting the head, arching the back. Exhale, belly draws back, head drops down. Couple of more rounds. Switch which leg is in the front. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. One more. Now sit in whatever comfortable position you can, seated. You can have your legs straight. They can be in butterfly, it doesn't matter. Let your palms face up. Close your eyes if you feel safe. Relax the jaw and the forehead, the thighs and the hips, the soles of the feet. Bring awareness behind your ears. Feel the air around your arms. Notice the space between the toes. Showing up not just for our physical body, but for the soul. And create your intention for today's practice or for your day in general. We're going to be in a lot of movement. We're going to be in stillness. We're going to count on the breath. An intention might sound something like, I am breathing in, I am breathing out. It might be peace or joy. Could be I'm here for myself. I'm here to grow. Self-care. I'll be quiet and let you find your own. And I support your intention. Let's come into all fours for a couple of regular cat-cows. Drop the belly, lift the hips, lift the top of the head, press into the hands, wide fingers. Exhale, belly towards the spine, head drops, curving the spine in the other direction. Inhale, press into the tops of the feet, press into the hands. Exhale, cow pose, cat pose. Take a couple on your own. Find any playful movements that are for you and your spine. Tuck the toes, walk the hands a couple inches forward, downward facing dog. Press the heels down, bend the opposite knees, checking in with the back of the legs. Sway the hips a little side to side. Take an inhale, open the mouth, let it go. Inhale, open the mouth, let it go. Inhale, and let it out. You showed up. That's a win. Walk the toes all the way up to the top of the mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Keep a gentle bend in the knees as you're warming up. Inhale, half lift, straighten the spine, shoulders pull back. Exhale, forward fold, chin moves towards the chest. Weight gently glides forward. Inhale, straighten the spine. Keep the weight towards the balls of the feet as you exhale, forward fold. One more. And exhale. Rolling all the way up. Roll the shoulders up and back and down. Let the palms shine forward. Unlock the knees. Feel your heartbeat. Let the intention soak down from the top of the head, pouring all the way to the feet. Inhale, reach up to the sky, A series. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, step or hop back for your first chaturanga. Shoulders move forward and down. Inhale into cobra or to upward facing dog. Exhale to down dog. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Bend the knees to look forward. Step or hop to the top of the mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, reach up to the sky. Exhale, hands to your heart. Two more just like that. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, fold down to the earth. Inhale, lengthen the spine halfway like a 90-degree angle. Exhale, step or hop, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. About 3 breaths. Bend the knees to look forward, step or hop. Up. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, reach up to the sky. Exhale, hands to your heart. Inhale, reach up to the sky. Exhale, bow forward to your intention. Inhale, halfway lift. Take your vinyasa. If you ever want to skip it from your plank, just go straight to down dog. Those of you in your vinyasa, now you're in down dog, 3 breaths. Bend your knees, step, walk, or hop to the top of your mat. Halfway lift, forward fold. Reach up to the sky. Bring your hands to your heart. Chair pose. Inhale, sit the bottom back like you're sitting in a chair. Arms can be reaching up towards the sky, or you can have your hands at your heart, whatever feels more connected today. You can also bring your hands to your third eye if you're really working on intention and intuition. Sit down a little lower, connecting with the breath. Discomfort will appear. What is stronger, your breath or discomfort? Forward fold on your next exhale. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, take your vinyasa or come to down dog. Let the left leg lift on the inhale and let the heel pull back, keeping the weight towards the left big toe side of the right foot. The right foot, big toe side. Release the left foot down, right leg lifts. Step the right foot between the hands, warrior one, inhale. Get low. Don't let the knee go past the ankle. The back foot, pinky to the back foot, pinky to heel, is pressing down into the mat. Take your left hand to the back of the left thigh and reverse it. Reach the right hand back to get a little upper back bend. Release the hands to the ground, step it back into a plank, and pause. Breathe in and out. Come down onto the forearms. You can release the knees if you want. Come back up into a high plank. Take your vinyasa, option to drop the knees down or skip it all together. Right leg extends back. Left heel presses down. Right heel pulls back. I'm having a hard time breathing today. That's okay. Switch sides. Step the foot between the hands, warrior one, reach up to the sky. Notice if the front ribs are popping forward and see if you can nib them back a little. Fingers pull up, straightening the arms, but the shoulders move away from the ears. Soften the neck. Take the right hand to the back of the right thigh and reach back, reversing your warrior one. Cartwheel the hands down, step back into a plank and pause. Come down onto the forearms. Come back up into the plank. Breathing. Release the knees if you want, or take a vinyasa with them up, or straight to down dog. Sway your hips side to side. Option for a child's pose. Move the neck around. Let it loosen. Find the breath. Your breath will be here the entire class. No matter what it looks like or feels like, it is here. So notice it. Bring awareness to it. Have gratitude for it, no matter what it looks like. Fast, slow, deep, short. It is what it is, and you are here with it. Bend the knees, look forward, step or hop to the top. Halfway lift, forward fold, chair pose. And I'm going to do that option again where I'm going to bring my palms together and my thumbs towards my third eye or in between my eyebrows. Move the weight towards the heels. You don't have to lift your toes, but you could if you wanted to. I am breathing in. I am breathing out. Get lower. One more. Release the hands down to the ground, forward fold, halfway lift. Take a vinyasa or straight to down dog. Left leg lifts to the sky. Put it down. Right leg lifts to the sky. Step it forward. Warrior one, inhale. Left arm to the back of the left thigh. Inhale, reverse the warrior one. Exhale, cartwheel it down. Chaturanga. Down dog. Right leg lifts. Set it down. Left leg lifts. Step it forward. Warrior one. Right hand to the back of the right thigh. Reverse it. Cartwheel it down. Vinyasa or down dog. Let's take a little child's pose if you want it. If not, keep your down dog. Come back to down dog if you're not there already. Left leg lifts, pull it back, put it down. Right leg lifts, pull it back, open the hip if you want. See if you can keep the right armpit dropping towards the ground so your upper body stays neutral. Now step it between the hands and we're coming up into warrior two. I'm switching it up to face you. Getting low. The right inner thigh is moving forward and out towards the right so that the knee doesn't fall inwards. Pressing down from the pinky toe to the heel on the back foot. And let the left thigh press back as the pelvis takes a little scoop forward and you start to feel perhaps a little stretch in your left hip flexor. Reverse your warrior. Warrior two. We're going to do a similar thing to side angle pose, but instead of bringing our right elbow to the right thigh, we're going to take our right hand and reach it towards the left foot and take the left arm up over the head. And try to lift your heart and your torso up, but keep your head loose. From here, we're going to take reverse warrior, but the hands are going to go in the same position. So the left hand is reaching towards the right foot, and the right arm is reaching back. The other way, side angle, reverse. Side angle, reverse. Feel the front leg if you're feeling the front leg. Feel the breath if you're feeling the breath. It's here for you. It isn't going anywhere. So how can you show up for it? One more. Come back into warrior two. Stay low. Breathe into it. Straighten the front leg. Move the left foot back forward about a foot. We're coming into triangle. So first let the hips pull back. Keep the hips stacked so the left hip didn't sway forward. It's still pressing back along with the left thigh pressing back. Keep the spine long. Reach the right arm down towards the leg, towards a block. You can even have it on your hip if you want. And we're coming into half moon pose. So if you have a block and you want to use it, put it about 1.5 feet in front of you. We're going to be reaching forward towards the block or the ground, lifting the back leg up. Finding the balance, just playing there with the weight, moving around in the bottom foot. Flex the back foot and let the heel press back. Coming back towards triangle, just bring the back foot down, and we're going to meet up facing the side of our mat with our feet a little bit wider than the hips and toes facing out. We're going to get low in goddess pose. Let the belly button press back so that the pelvis can scoop forward, and then move the shoulders back a little. So the torso is straight up and down, and you're nice and low. I'm bringing my hands back to my forehead with my palms together. One of the things that yoga teaches us is that that which is uncomfortable will change. This pose can be unpleasant, but it is not forever. Your relationship to the pose is in your mind's control. It may not feel it, but give it a go. I am strong. I am breathing in. I am breathing out. I am breathing in. Get a little lower. I am breathing out. Straighten the legs. Reach the arms up to the sky. And exhale, bring them back down to your sides. We're going to face the front of our mat. We're coming into warrior three. We're going to have the right leg on the ground. So bring a little bend into the right knee and start to hinge forward at the waist. Your left leg lifts back at the same angle as your torso moving forward, just like you're a seesaw. And then once you get to whatever position feels right, so it might be just a little bit, or it might be like a T, wherever you are, try to create a board or a straight line from the head towards the heel. It doesn't matter what area of the seesaw angle you're in. And as if your stomach is a magnet, let it lengthen up towards the spine, the other half of its magnet, so you can keep your your core really strong. And then push the shoulders back. And let the head and the bottom of the foot lengthen in opposite directions. I'm still here. You're still here. Step it back into crescent pose. Reach the arms up to the sky. Take your back hand to the back of the thigh. Reach the front arm back. Reversing the crescent. Bringing the hands, cartwheeling them down to the ground. Take your vinyasa. I'm going to switch directions again while you're in down dog. That was awesome. We're doing it all on the other side. You are strong. You can do it. Right leg lifts back. Set the right leg down. Left leg lifts back and stack the hips if you want. Left armpit is dropping down. Keep the torso neutral to open the hip even more. Step the foot between the hands. Warrior two on your inhale. Get low. Check in with the upper body and see if you're leaning forward or back, and try to keep the spine perpendicular to the ground. Shoulders relaxing. Palms staying aligned with the shoulders, but as if you're pressing down. Engaging the full arm. Reverse your warrior. Come back into warrior two. And just like the other side, instead of bringing the left arm to the thigh, you're reaching it back towards the right foot. The right arm reaches overhead. Switching the directions. Right arm reaches to the left foot, left arm reaches back, open the chest. Keep switching sides. Every time you get to a position, lift the heart a little. Lift the heart a little. Now come into your warrior two. Breathing, getting low. Straightening out the front leg, moving the back foot a couple inches forward, coming into triangle. So you want to check in with the hips. You don't want the butt to push back. You want to keep it pressing gently forward, lifting up the knees so you can engage the quads. Let the right hip pull back, and then bring your hands to wherever it feels right. You're going to reach the arm up. My arms are kind of short, so it actually works for me to bring my hand to my upper thigh. But guess what? It doesn't super matter. What matters is you're breathing. It matters that you're here. You're going to bend the front leg and come into warrior to half moon. So bring the hand close to in front of the foot, about 1.5 feet, right under your shoulder, and the back leg lifts up. If this isn't your thing, you can stay in triangle, playing with the balance. What happens if you fall? Not much. Bring the foot back down just a little bit, kind of like triangle, but then you're gonna just face the center. Bring the feet a little bit wider, then the hips, toes about at 45 degrees angle. You're going to lower down into a goddess pose. Bring your hands wherever you want them. I'm keeping mine with my intention to be here with you, no matter how short my breath is today. We're in it together. We're getting low. We're letting the thighs press back to keep the knees from falling in, but pressing down through the entire feet. It's uncomfortable. That's okay. When things are painful, we grow, and not just physically. Come back up, straighten the leg. We're going to step it all the way up to the top of the mat. We're going to be going into warrior three, into crescent, reverse crescent, taking our vinyasa, and our standing practice is done. So move the weight into the left foot, bring the hands by the sides, and we're moving like a seesaw. Head and heel of the right foot are moving at the same pace. And pausing where you get at your space of comfort that you know you can hold. The stomach lifts away from the thigh. The head and heel move away from each other, creating a nice strong line. Fingers, mine are by my side, so they're pulling back towards my right foot. Stepping it back, crescent pose. Right hand comes to the back of the right thigh. Reverse your crescent. Cartwheel it down. Vinyasa, down dog, or child's pose. Whichever you're in, it is correct. Slow the breath. Thank yourself for arriving. We're going to do some stretches. Some people love pigeon, which is going to have your right leg forward and your left leg back, flexing the right foot if you can, and coming down if you want. I love deer pose, which is a restorative style. So my right shin is parallel to the top of my mat. The left knee is coming out from my hip, and the back foot is about 90 degrees. So foot, knee, hip. And then I walk the hands forward. I sway a little side to side to see where it feels good. And then lower down to wherever felt right. And if you're in pigeon, just release a little more. Your breath is still there for you. What is it like now? How does it affect the pose when you breathe in and when you breathe out? Does it change the sensation in your body and in your stretch? If you're in pigeon, you're going to make your way to down dog and then bring your left foot forward into pigeon. If you're in deer pose, you're going to lift up and you're going to switch directions. Front shin parallel to the top of the mat, left knee coming out from the hip and the left foot at a 90-degree angle. If you're in pigeon, let yourself just wiggle around a little bit before you lower down. If you're in deer, walk the hands forward. And then I sway side to side with a straight back. And then when I find the point that says, oh yeah, I'm going to lower down if I can. If not, just stay up. Bring awareness to the crown of the head. And as you inhale, imagine it moving all the way down the center line of the body to the base of the torso. And as you exhale, let it go back out the top of your head. Inhale, pulling it down through the center line of the torso all the way to the bottom. And exhale, let it move back out the top of the head. And as new energy pulls down through the top of the head all the way down the bottom of the torso, let it take up space. And as it moves back out, take out any negative energy or any stagnant energy that's been stuck in the body. One more. If you're in pigeon, make your way slowly to your down dog and then into a seated position. If you're in deer, just come on back up. We're going to take the right leg out to the side and bring your left foot into the inside of the right thigh. I like to call this seated tree pose. Inhale, reach up to the sky. And just like we were reaching with our side angle pose earlier, your right hand is going to come out towards the left knee and the left arm is going to reach overhead. Kind of just like that side angle pose we did. And if that isn't comfortable for you, just bring the bottom hand down towards the bottom leg. Come back up to the middle, switch the side. The left hand is going to move to the right knee and the left arm is going to reach overhead in the opposite direction. Coming back to the middle, take a butterfly. If you bring your feet in all the time, maybe see what it feels like to take your feet really far away. And if your feet are always far away, see what it feels like to bring it in. And then you're going to move the torso forward and fall into yourself. How did it feel to show up for yourself today? Come back to the breath. Notice the inhales and the exhales, making the torso rise and fall. How does that affect the rest of the sensations in the body? Loosen up to a seated position. Come into an easy seat, whatever makes you comfortable. Bring awareness back to the top of the head. And as if it's a funnel, inhale clean energy all the way down to the base of the torso, connecting to the earth. And exhaling it back all the way up the center line of the body and out of the head. Bringing in new energy. Pushing out the old energy back out the top. The new energy flows in. It takes up the space, forcing the stagnant energy up and out. Thank you for doing the work with me today. Bring your hands into a prayer to the forehead for the right thoughts, to the mouth for the right words, and to your heart for the right actions. These are 3 of some of the only things that you have in your control. The spirit in me sees and acknowledges, respects the spirit in you. Namaste. If you guys choose to Venmo or donate or support, we do have a yoga at yoga-3s if you'd like to do that. And either way, we're so thrilled to have you. I'm Nadia, and thanks for joining us at the 3S Yoga YouTube channel. Bye.